Are you currently looking at your stock portfolio and wondering, what should I do with this? There are a million ways that you can invest with your stocks, so keep watching as I simplify the decision fatigue for you and maybe give you some alternatives that you haven't heard of before. All right, so the first point is, are you losing money right now? I mean, that's a great question to ask. If you've had 2022, you probably have. They said the average 401k Fidelity has lost 20.5%. That's a fifth of your money. You have to make a 25% return just to get back to zero, right? Not even making profit, just to get back to zero again. You gotta make 25% recovery. The question is, are you losing money right now? Is it gonna go lower? You know, what are we doing? Many times people will say, well, I'm losing money. And psychologically, you don't want to lose money, right? Nobody likes to lose. And so I really ask you, what emotions are coming up right now? Is it creating more fear? Is it creating some worries? One thing I believe with investing is, in general, with any investments, if it brings more fear and scarcity into your life, more fear and worry, you don't want it in your life. You can never be financially free if you're always worrying about money. That's just not possible, right? It doesn't matter what the numbers say if you're always scared. That's no way to live a life. So if you're losing money right now and you're worried, that's the first thing you should really address is, what's this doing to me emotionally? What's this doing to my happiness? That could be a big issue for you right now. Now, of course, this always inevitably leads to the next question. People always ask me, okay, Chris, do I cut my losses right now or do I buy more? Like, is this a good time to buy? Should I dollar cost average? Should I buy in? Is this the bottom? Here's the thing I should really ask you this. It depends, right? Should you cut your losses? Well, did you really lose money? So looking at it, even in 2023 right now, many people, if you look at your portfolio, you probably have more money in your portfolio than you did in 2020 when COVID hit, right? So some people would say, oh, I lost money. Well, no, you might have lost money from last year, but in truth, did you really lose money? Or are you up higher than you were even just a few years ago? Maybe you're up higher than you were 5, 10 years ago. Is that a loss? Or was that actually a gain? Now, it's interesting, I like to go into my stock trading experience, right? I used to teach people how to trade stocks and options back in the day. And when I did that, many times people would ask for, how do you know when to buy, when to sell? And we would never just tell them you should buy or sell right now, but we would teach them what to look for. And a lot of times we would use the rule of cut your losses short, but then let your profits run. So if the market's going up, great, let it run. Keep letting it go. Keep gaining some more money. But there'd be different strategies that you could do. One strategy, for example, is you could scale out. Scaling out means that you take out some now, but leave some in. I actually did this with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin crashed from 20,000, this is back in 2018, Bitcoin had a big crash from 20,000, went down, eventually down to about $3,400 per Bitcoin. Way less even than it is today. And it started going down. When it got down to about $6,000, was hovering around there, I said, you know what? Now that people are freaked out about Bitcoin, nobody's talking about it anymore, this might be a good time to buy. So I bought Bitcoin at about $6,000. Well, it started to take off. And I remember when it got up to $14,000, I said, I just more than doubled my money already. This is awesome. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell off some of my Bitcoin. So I started selling some of it off when it hit about 14,000. Now it kept going up, right? It ended up going up to like over $60,000 per Bitcoin. And then eventually when it started pulling back a little bit, especially when I started hearing some more talk from even Bitcoin experts, crypto experts saying, guess what? The feds are manipulating the price now. I don't think we're gonna see it go back up over 65,000 for a long time. I said, this might be the time to sell. I waited a little bit. When it got down to about 48,000 bucks, I sold some more, sold the bulk of it. And I was able to take a big profit. So the cool thing is I got all the money I invested and then some. And now I just have a teeny bit of Bitcoin I just have in there. So play around, have fun. Now the truth is I was just playing around, right? The same thing with stock market. Like the time I wanna buy in the stock market is when nobody wants to buy. Right? That's the best thing I love, is that when everybody's bailing out and it's just a complete dumpster fire and everybody's running away, that's usually what I run towards it. It's like the Avengers, right? You remember the movie The Avengers in the Battle of New York, and everybody's running away from the scene, but the Avengers are running towards the battle, right? It's the same thing here. It's like we're running towards it because that's where the investment opportunity is. When everybody's running away, that's the time to buy. That's what you can do. So could you cut your losses or buy more? I don't believe we're at a market bottom right now. I think the bottom is actually lower. It's gonna be much lower. I share another video where we talk about market reactions, and emotional reactions. When there's major panic or anger in the markets, kind of like when we had in the last recession, when everybody was marching on Wall Street, everybody's so mad about losing their money and people lamenting about their 401k balances just getting killed, right? That was a good time to start buying. That was 2009, the bottom of 2009 there. So we're not there yet. We're not in that panic anger mode where people are really mad or even depressed, which is also at the market bottom too. we're not in that emotional phase. We're at the point of kind of denial where people think, oh, it's just going to come back up again. You know, there's a little bit of anxiety, but not much. You know, there's not that massive fear or panic that really happens right before you start to hit a bottom. So would I buy more? I mean, I can't legally tell you anything on this show, but I will tell you this, is that if you're going to buy more, just know it's probably going to go down some more. Again, I'm no prophet. I could be wrong. But the likelihood is that odds are against you that you're going to actually make money buying more in the stock market right now. So the question really is, should I stay or should I go? And I know you got the song stuck in your head, didn't you? Should I stay or should I go now? Well, should you stay or should you go? That's completely up to you. I'm not going to give you that advice. I would just say this, is that again, does it bring up those emotions that freak you out? Is it something that maybe doesn't work for you? If it's not serving you, this is my rule I had in stock trading. When in doubt, get out. That was my rule, right? And even if I was looking to invest in something, when in doubt, stay out. So when there's doubt there, again, fear, worry, I don't do that investment. Even if it seems to make logical sense, I stay away. That's served me so much better than just trying to force something to work. So the really question is this, is that what if you do decide to get out of the stock market? Then what? What do? Do you go put your money in cash? Do you put it in money markets or bonds? Well, we've already seen last year, bonds lost money too. So it didn't matter if you did stocks or bonds, you lost money. That happened in the last recession too. You can actually lose money even in the conservative, quote unquote, type of portfolios. So what else could you do with your stocks? Well, like I said, you could hold on to them, you could sell them, you could scale out, you could do a lot of different things with it. Or what if you just got out completely? Now, I have many clients that are invest in the stock market or mutual funds, and they say, what do I do with it? We have one client right now where they actually have Google, they have Meta stock, they have a whole bunch of money in stocks, and they were really wanting to hold on, especially as 2022 hurt those stocks the most. Here's the natural reaction. When you have a sense that you've lost money, you don't want to sell. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do what I say, but cut your losses short, let your profits run. Most people don't realize that they actually made money still, even if the big bad drop in 2022. By the way, 2023 has been good for those tech stocks. May not be a bad idea to take their profits and run, right? Well, they, of course, had some money in there. They did take some money out, and they were able to invest some of that. But I had one client that said, you know what, I'm out of the market completely. In 2021, he said, I see the writing on the wall. It doesn't make sense. I can see that everybody's greedy right now. This is probably the time to run. I hear you, Chris. So he got out before the market tanked. He then invested that $1 million to generate not just 3% in his mutual fund, right? $30,000 a year. He's now generating $11,000 a month of passive income, some of that with some tax benefits. So he's actually able to keep more of that money than he would trying to cash out $3,000 a month from his mutual funds, hoping and praying that the market smiles on him just the right way and he doesn't run out of money. That's a great way to do that. We've had other people, like we mentioned that other couple that sold some of their stocks, they use that to get investments to then generate more passive income. By the way, crazy thing is if they sold all their stocks, they'd actually be able to generate over $500,000 a year of passive income with real assets, not with stocks that go up or down just depending on what the feds say or with Biden sneezes wrong and poops his pants or whatever, right? That's the crazy thing out there is that there's so much out of your control when it comes to stock markets, but there's other things you can do, like in the real estate game. There's things in business. There are franchises. There's actually franchises you can do that are not food franchises. There are franchises that are boring, that make good profits. You can actually be profitable in the first year or two. Yeah, they actually exist. So there's so many other things you could be doing besides stocks that can make you good, consistent income that gets you to be financially independent where you work because you want to, not because you have to. That can actually happen right now. By the way, guys, if you haven't done so, subscribe to our channel. Love to hear your thoughts, your comments on this. What are you thinking about your stocks? Are they gonna go down? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you like this video, check out the next one, what to invest in while the stocks are down.